Yeah.
Like, I heard of you before I saw you on the train.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
We're like the same height, and I'm pretty sure you weigh like 50% more than me.
Yeah.
That's insane, bro.
Schools, like the offers I had like was mostly like Ivy League schools.
Hello, and welcome back to the 4th episode of the Pre-Uni podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jammal. So today my guest is a very talented man. Some could even say he's the poster boy for black excellence. Not only balancing sports at a high level, including representing England at basketball when he was 16. Samson not only switched sports, picked up in American football, and now has a scholarship to play for Duke as a defensive end.
Yeah.
How are you today, bro?
I'm good, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm well. So, I've saved my first question for you, Samson, is when did you start playing sport?
Oh, I've always played sport. I mean, I grew up playing, okay, so I'm going to call it football. Like, I'm going to call it football than American football.
Soccer.
So I grew up playing football. I was like a centre back, then I was a goalkeeper, and then it got to a point where I was just way taller than everyone else in primary school. Like, I've seen the pictures of me in primary school, I'm like 6 to 8 inches taller than everyone else. So like, maybe in like year 4, year 5, my teacher was like, Samson, you have to give like basketball a try. So like, I gave it a try. The rims are like 8 feet tall, so it's mad easy. I'm just like throwing the ball in the hoop. I'm like, wait, this is mad fun. It's super easy. So that's like how I picked up basketball, and then it kind of just became something I really worked at, and I just really like had a like love for. So like, the next couple of years, I just started playing basketball. I played for like my local team, like Barking Dagenham Thunder, and then I played for like RDF, and then I played for Neom Youngbloods before I went to represent England and then Great Britain at the European Championships. So then I went into basketball, and I loved it to the point where like I wanted to go and play in college. I wanted to really like pursue it and maybe play professionally one day, and I felt like the best way to do that was going abroad, going to America. So like, again, I persuaded my parents, like, for the longest time when I was like 14 years old in year 10, I was like, I really want to go to America. Is what something I really wanted to do. And my parents, luckily, they did it happen, and I'm really grateful for that. So once I got to America, my freshman year, I was playing basketball. American football was like, there was hints of it. People were like, Samson, you have to give American football a try. And like, they said like, you have the body for it, you have like the physique for it, you have to give it a try. And like, I was like, nah, I was just like, no, I'm not doing that. I came in for basketball. But when I did transfer to my new school, Belmont Hill, my sophomore year, I was more open to it. I met the football coach. He was a black coach, and he was really friendly. And like, I thought, okay, I have nothing to lose. I'm gonna just give it a try. So I played it for the first time my sophomore year, and it was super fun. I just loved it. It was to the point where like I like played. So like, American football was played during like autumn, the fall season. Then basketball was like the winter season. So like, when I'd finished playing American football that sophomore year, and I went into the basketball season, I just realized that, yeah, basketball is, I just realized basketball like isn't the dream anymore. I just didn't find it as much fun as playing like American football. Like, the amount of adrenaline you get whilst playing is like, like nothing can match it. It's just like, it's always on go, and it's like, it's just super fun. It's a team sport. It's a true team sport. Like, you need everyone to do their job to like do well, and it just had like certain elements that basketball doesn't have, and I just loved it. So that's when it felt like something I wanted to really pursue.
Well, I first looking at your journey step by step was like the amount of agency you took with it as well. I feel like everyone that's, seen Kyrie Irving play or LeBron James has hoop dreams, right?
Yeah.
But taking the level to not only take your craft seriously is something that's really important. So when did you start deciding to take basketball seriously? Like, of course you were, I think it was something crazy like 6'1" in year 7.
Yeah, I would say that was crazy.
Crazy, bro. Like, God has favorites, isn't it? But what made you decide to take it like actually seriously? And what tangible steps did you take towards that dream?
I think like sports is necessary like for everyone. I feel like you learn like so many skills just playing whatever sport it is. Like there's just certain skills that you don't get to use every like in everyday life. But like when I started taking like basketball seriously, it was like probably when I was like around like maybe like 10, 9, around that age. I mean, at first it was just like something for fun, but like once I like kept on practicing, I felt like okay, like I feel like I could take this somewhere. That's when like the passion came through, and it became something where like I wasn't doing it for anyone else. I wanted to do it for me. I wanted to become like the best I could at the sport. So like I'm also like a very like competitive person. So like I really don't like losing. So like that like also like fell into it as well. Like I would like work as hard as it takes to not lose, and like to be the best version of myself. So that's what really like pushed me to like really like take basketball to like the next level for myself. And that's what like motivated me to like want to go to America.
Yeah, I feel like I'm glad you touched on that competitive spirit because for those of you who don't know, is that I first met Samson because we both went to school in Southend.
Yeah.
2 different all-boys schools. And let's just say that training experience, nothing like it. But I'd say that like that definitely helped to build at least my competitive spirit, you know, like seeing other people and seeing how seriously sport was taken, academics were taken, like it was like a friendly competition almost. Like it wasn't trying to put anyone down, but it was just trying to push each other to like make us better as well. So how was it like going to an all boys grammar school in Southend?
It was definitely an experience. It was definitely an experience. I'd probably say, thinking about it now, I don't know how I woke up that early to go to school. That's crazy. Wait, like
Barking to Southend.
Yeah, that's crazy. It was like waking up 5:30, having to catch a train to Barking, then go from Barking to Southend. Yeah, it was like crazy. Like the bit I was looking forward to like was taking the train with everyone. That was probably like the best bit of the whole day. But again, it was definitely an experience. It's definitely like really helped me because again the competitiveness is like we'd take a math test. Like I'm in like year 10, we're doing further maths, and I'm in the back and I have no clue what's happening. I mean I should
We've all been there, bro. Don't worry.
No, I should have not been in further maths. But like we just taken a test and I knew that I did so bad on it, and like we're leaving to take the bus to go back home and everyone's talking about the test saying like, oh, what did you get, and I'm just like head down just like walking to the bus. I don't hear what anyone got because it would just ruin my whole mood, because it was like an atmosphere like if you did bad on the test like you're getting made fun of. 100%. And I don't feel like many schools have that type of, you probably get called a nerd if you did well on the test, but like Southend was like praised. It was like a good thing. So that really helped, that competitive like element, not even just in sports but like academically, because like now I feel like academically I'm like really like comfortable. I like have like A's in like all of like the subjects I take in America, but like I don't take like super like hard courses, but like it's to the point.
All your quizzes multiple choices then?
Yeah.
True or false?
there is a comfortable amount of true and false and like a multiple choice, and I don't complain. It's like
fair enough. The game's the game.
Yeah, the game's the game. Whoever gets me the highest GPA. So like yeah, I feel like that definitely helped because like now in America it's like people are like, oh Samson, like how are you so smart? And it's like, well, I've like learned most of this stuff already in Southend, and like yeah, like being organized and like getting stuff under control. Like I never did my GCSE, so I haven't really, or A levels, and so like I haven't really experienced like true struggle that you guys have been through. But for based on year 10 and like having to be organized and like that kind of sense, it's definitely helped me like academically.
Yeah, that training experience, I really liked how like it really forced me to, you know, sharpen my social skills because we're all from different schools, and you stutter, you don't speak correct, guys will get onto you, but like I said, like I feel like that's made us a lot stronger, isn't it?
Yeah, especially the social skills, because like it's like 5:30 in the morning, 6 in the morning, and you just have a bunch of black kids like
that's so fast.
It's like they've taken like some like shots in the morning, like they're mad energetic at 6 in the morning, ready to go to school. They're shouting. There's like making jokes and everything like 6 in the morning. Like it's definitely not major. It's definitely not for everyone. But yeah, it's some of like the best memories was taking the train. Some of the stuff probably weren't too like good for the public. Some of the facts that went on. But yeah, it was great time, great memories.
So then, like you said, yeah, you're waking up already at 5:30
Mm-hmm.
to go to school. So how did you also prioritize playing basketball then at a highest level?
Well, back here it was kind of like it's very different to like the way it is in America. Like here, you play for like a club team. So like, youngers, for example, like we like practice like twice a week, like maybe like a Tuesday and a Thursday. So like maybe on the Tuesday I would like go straight from Southend all the way to like Newham and like just like hoop until like maybe like 7 or 8 and I get picked up by my parents. So like it wasn't too hard. It was like very long days. Because then like I'd have to go home and do my homework. But like most of the time I would plan it around my practices, so like I wouldn't have to go home and do homework at like 9 in the morning. I mean 9 in the evening. Then I have to wake up early like the next day. So again, like the organization, like stuff like that, like that's like slowly became like implemented into like my life. But yeah, that bit was easy. I mean, it was like traveling now. Like I'm used to like traveling like an hour plus. Like when people say, "Oh, like you're taking the train for more than an hour," I'm like, that's nothing. I like did it like every day for like 3 years. So yeah, all of this like really helped me.
Yeah, I'm also glad you touched on like that long journey travel because I feel like it's hard, especially when you're like young, to like think about what you have to sacrifice in order for what you want to get right.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't understand, like traveling an hour plus to go to a sixth form or to just play basketball, like no guarantee of making it pro. But like, what made you so confident to have that faith in yourself to just like slog it through?
I mean, it's more like my passion and like discipline, but like more like the passion. Like if like I really wanted to do this, so like that was like
whatever it takes.
Yeah, that was enough for me to like travel as long as I needed to get wherever I needed to go to, whether it was school or practice. So that's what really like pushed me. Because like people say, "Oh, like you're motivated to do so." I feel like motivation is like something you get like 2 in the morning. You like suddenly become motivated to like.
David Goggins TikTok.
Yeah, you're scrolling from TikTok and you suddenly become motivated to now suddenly do something. So like I feel like discipline is a way like that's what really matters a lot, to be like disciplined, to like know where you want to get to in life and like what you want to do. And it was basketball and being good academics at the time.
But I feel like another thing that young athletes might go through here is like peaking in high school. Like one thing that, isn't really talked about enough in my opinion is like the hype you get.
Yeah.
Like, I heard of you before I saw you on the train.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I didn't know that was a thing before that, but guys talking about, "Oh, this Samson guy, bro, you should play him at basketball. He's the best in Southend, da 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 da." I was like, bro, what? So like, a lot of people let that hype get to their heads, and that often ends with them like peaking too early. So how did you like deal with like all this surrounding attention around you?
It was kind of like I just blocked it. I mean, I didn't even know I had that much attention. I just felt like normal. I just felt like I was going to school and like just doing my regular stuff. So like I didn't really think much about it then, and I still don't think about it much now. I just like go about my business, make sure I do what I need to do every day. So I don't really think of that stuff too much, to be honest. I just do what I need to do.
That's fair enough, bro. Do you feel any pressure then when you step on the court, like, especially when you're playing for your country as well?
That was a great experience. That definitely was like high pressure stuff. Like you're in like Bulgaria playing against like Portugal, Sweden, like all these other guys, and like you begin to realize like the levels of basketball, and like I realized like the level's high, even just in Europe. But like even then when you play in America, and like you realize the level's even higher, because like there's now bigger guys, like guys like 6'8", 6'10", moving like
cool.
Like they're flying down the court. Like the pace of like basketball compared to like here in Europe to America is like too different. It's like you're playing two different sports. It's like crazy. So yeah, it's all like a really good experience, to be honest. But like pressure is like, it depends on how much you work for that moment. I feel like if you prepare yourself well enough, then the pressure won't get to you as much as it should.
That's a good point as well. Like, it's almost like you're working hard to the point where like you almost like are relishing the moment to like show what you worked hard for, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it applies to anything. Like probably like when you were studying, it's like you worked hard enough, so like you felt confident going into exams. So like you work on your skills hard enough in whatever sport you're doing or anything you're doing, you feel comfortable in like whatever situation you're in. So that I feel like that was a big thing.
So now you went over to America when you were ones, I presume.
Yes.
How was that? I feel like going over, bearing in mind, call me a baby, but I've never gone on a vacation without my parents, bro. I'm not gonna lie, and I know you watching as well. One of you hasn't either as well. So how did it feel first stepping into that airport on your ones, bro? No family.
So like I was like 15 when I left to go to America. So like my family were there. They dropped me off at the airport. I still like remember the day like very vividly.
Of course.
So like I was with them, and then when you go through security and you realize I'm not by myself. I'm actually not by myself at like 15, and like I actually have to like lock in and like make sure like it's a big responsibility, but like again, like all the time I'm thinking about like the reason I'm like here, or the reason I've decided to leave, and like that's really what like kept me grounded and kept me like pushing for like whatever like my goal to like play basketball in college at initially. So yeah, and it was something that I like begged my parents. Like it's something I really wanted, and like it was during COVID times. I'd be outside like creeping by myself and stuff like that, and my parents really saw that was something I really wanted to do. So like they made it happen for me, but it's definitely like a big responsibility going out like to America like at such a young age. It's not for everyone. Because like there are definitely like difficult moments, because you are like essentially by yourself. Like my freshman year I was at boarding school, so I was like at school like 24/7. So there are times where it's like difficult. It's like, oh, I wish like I could have my mom's cooking, or like I wish I could like just see my family. But like it's something you just remember the reason why you left. So
yeah, I feel like it's good as well that you experience such like independence at a younger age.
Yeah.
Because it's like a sink or swim moment, isn't it?
Yeah. And it definitely makes you stronger.
100%.
I mean, I definitely feel like I could like live by myself. Like when I go to college, I feel like that's gonna be like nothing different for me. Like however other kids, it's probably like the first time leaving their own house to like go to college, but like it's something I've done for like the past 4 years. So like in that aspect, I do feel like I'm like well prepared for that. I know how to like do stuff on my own. Like I don't need sometimes like do your homework and like stuff like that. I like make sure I plan everything out, and like I just make like rational and smart decisions. But like I also have like really good friends now that also help. So they're kind of like family to me now in Boston. So like it's great. I mean, I miss my family like here and there. But like my friends and like the people like there like make sure I'm all good, and so like, that's always really helpful.
It must have been crazy for them to, see you off the airport as like, some stupidly tall boy, and you come back as a man,
Yeah. My mum was like, what the hell happened? she was like, I just came back way bigger. But like, again, I'm playing American football. You see the guys, they're huge. One thing is just like the athletic freaks, like the people that play American football. If you're athletic, you're gonna have a good chance playing the sport. But it's also a very physical sport, obviously. So like you have to put on like muscle mass just to like protect yourself. But yeah, it's just one of those things, and I'm probably not gonna get any smaller from now. So it's just part of the game.
Yeah, we're like the same height, and I'm pretty sure you weigh like 50% more than me. That's insane, bro.
Yeah, probably around like 240 pounds right now.
I don't
know what that is in kg.
I think I'm guessing it's 110 kg at the minimum.
Something like that. Something
incredible,
like that.
Bro. But what was it like at your first high school then? You mentioned it was a boarding school.
Yeah, I was at the Kiski school. I like an agency that helped me like initially get out to the school.
When you were in the UK? Or when you flew over?
When I flew over, I was a freshman, and I flew to the Kiski school.
Okay, come.
So that's why it was my freshman year. It was like a post-grad school, so like you have like 18 and 19-year-olds there.
Oh yeah.
So like it's like I'm 15 and there's like 19-year-olds on the same basketball team. So it was a huge,
bro.
Yeah, it was like a huge learning experience. I'd also like reclassed to give me like is what I was told to do. Like it would help give me like another year to like just adapt to the culture.
Could you explain what that is for that?
It's basically like repeating a grade or like repeating a year. So like I like basically like repeated like year 10.
So it's kind of like when people take a gap year to reapply at university, and it's quite common among athletes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very common amongst athletes. People use it to get like athletic advantage. You have another like year in high school to like again prove yourself and do well. Other people just like don't reclass but then do a post-grad year at like one of the big post-grad schools. Again, it's all just to get into college and like to like play sports in college. But for me personally, it was more to just adapt to the culture, and it was like something I like definitely needed because it was definitely a huge culture shock just being around like Americans. But like it was kind of an international school, the school I was at. But yeah, like all I did was just play basketball. That's pretty much all I did and go to school. But it was in the middle of nowhere. It was like maybe an hour away from Pittsburgh. It was just in the middle of nowhere. So like it wasn't for me. And like by the end of the year, I knew like I wanted to transfer to another
Going back from East London to like the country.
Yeah, like,
I could never.
Yeah, I was basically like in the middle of the woods. So I did end up transferring to Belmont Hill. I had like a friend I met like.
Was that your own decision to transfer?
It was like a family decision. Like I spoke to my dad.
How did you think of it like?
It was like difficult my freshman year because I'm so young and I'm playing with such older guys. It was like I wasn't playing much and like that was a big thing at the time.
So you weren't getting opportunities, right?
But like also like that environment and like the atmosphere, I didn't feel like it was for me. Just being at school like 7 days a week was just a lot because it's like you just at school and it's in the middle of nowhere. So it got like very repetitive and boring for me personally. So like I knew I definitely wanted to transfer, and I was definitely looking like in the Boston, like Massachusetts area. I have an aunt that lives there. And luckily like one of the kids I met at AE team, Isaiah, he was like come like apply to my school, Belmont Hill, and I got in. But yeah, Belmont Hill was like is a 5-day boarding, so like during the week I board, then on the weekends I go to my aunt's house. So like it felt more free, and like I'm in Boston, so it like you're actually like in a city. So it's kind of similar to like London, kind of like I'm in a city. So it felt more like here, and it was something more I was like used to. But yeah, it was definitely like one of the best like decisions I've made, and it was like opened up so many opportunities for me.
Well, like that's really good as well because everyone wants to go to like prestigious places, right? Like a lot of people be thinking, I'm already in America. Yeah, I'm either gonna make it work, I'm gonna give up.
Yeah.
But you have to find like environments which are suited towards you, right?
Yeah.
Like put a monkey in the water and he ain't swimming. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't swimming.
So like, yeah, don't be afraid to like mix up things and change your environment if it's not suiting you as well. Like, it doesn't always have to be changing schools, but like speaking and putting that action is always important. And one thing I've liked, and like as a recurring theme so far, is how you're taking like agency at every step of the way. Like you decided to start playing basketball. You decided to ask your parents to go to America. You decided to switch schools. Because like we all want the credit when it like goes well, but when it doesn't go well, you still have to take that one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something you learn. It's like you have to like take risk, and you have to know that it can go bad. And like playing American football, there was a big risk that I was like basically like saying, I'm gonna stop playing what I've played my whole life, start a brand new sport and hope it works out. So like it was a big risk, but like again it's something I wanted to do, and like I had believed that look, if I like learn this new sport and I take it seriously, I could take it far. So like again, yes, like all accountability like is on you. Like if it goes bad, it was your decision to do that. But it's all worked out really well for me so far.
Great school, bro.
Yeah, it's been great. Belmont Hills is a private school, but in Boston there's like loads of private schools. So it's a very wealthy like school I go to. But like again, like it opens up so many opportunities for me. Like the kids go to like top schools in America. But it was probably like one of the best decisions I made transferring schools.
So what was Belmont Hill like compared to Southend School for Boys?
I mean, they're both all boys schools, firstly. So like,
boys will be boys, eh?
So like, in that atmosphere is kind of similar. You have the all boys atmosphere. There's no guys acting up for girls because it's just no guys. So like, it's a very like, it's an atmosphere you get used to. And again, I've like grew up at all boys school. I went to Southend. Even like the Kiski school, like in Pennsylvania, was all boys. So it just happened to like it's just something I'm used to again. But yeah, it's kind of like a nice atmosphere. Like everyone's like super sporty. I mean, you have like your sporty kids, and then you have like your kids that are like really smart, trying to go to like, prestigious schools. And like I feel like it's a really good atmosphere. Everyone's like super hard working and stuff like that. So yeah, again, I felt like it was like the perfect place for me to like focus on academics and like pursue the sport I wanted.
Why was academics still so important to you? while with your sports? Because I feel like a lot of athletes get into the mentality and they're like, you know what, if I can just hoop really well, doesn't matter if I can't count, bro. It doesn't matter. Like, well, I liked how like you're always focusing on like making sure you're patterning both sides, being a student as well as an athlete.
Yeah, and I think a big credit is Southend, because like again it was the biggest thing there, just like straight academics. So that definitely helped. But like yeah, again you can't really get into college if it like you don't have some sort of like academic like standing academic GPA. But like I knew personally, I take academics super like seriously. So like I knew I wanted to go to like high academic schools. So like the offers I had like was mostly like Ivy League schools and like Duke and like Wake Forest. Like
don't be afraid to drop Harvard in there, bro.
I mean yeah, it was like it was like 6 of the 8 Ivy League schools I had. The only two I didn't have was like Columbia, Brown, actually 3, Columbia, Brown and Cornell.
Well, you had Harvard and Princeton. The combo ends there, so like big props to you.
And Yale. So I definitely like high academics was the place I wanted to like go to. I wanted to be able to like make sure I get like a really good degree and also still be able to play sports. So like people do ask me, is like, why didn't you choose an Ivy League school? I very well could have gone there, but I felt like Duke was like the perfect fit for me. It's still like a top 10 school in the country, like really good. It's really good academically, but they also still play like in the ACC. They still play like the best schools in the country, like Florida State, Clemson, North Carolina. So yeah, it was something like it was a decision for me, and I feel like it gave me the like best of both worlds. Like I'm still gonna get like an amazing degree at Duke and still be able to like play like high level football. So yeah, it was a perfect decision.
Of course. So what was the US Uni application like for you? Like a lot of people applying to this are interested. So did you still apply as an international or domestic student?
For college or for
high school? College.
I mean, it's completely different. I mean, I'm on like a student visa, so that's how I'm there. So I am like an international student. But because I'm playing sports and like I'm gonna have a scholarship at Duke is like completely different. Like the whole application process is like different for me. I still have to like write essays and stuff, but like I'm already into the school. So it's kind of hard to like give advice, I'd say. But like I am an international student, like I'm on like a student visa.
So how did you then market yourself there as an athlete?
In what sense?
Like, how did you begin the process of getting these offers, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I feel like that's something that isn't talked about enough. Like we just see, Zion at high school, now Zion's at Duke.
Yeah. Yeah, the recruiting process is definitely like a long one. So like when I started my sophomore year playing American football, it was like...
That's year 11 for like my UK views.
Yeah. So when I started out, it was like something I'm gonna just try it and like give it a shot. And like hopefully like it will be able to take me somewhere. So by the end of my sophomore year, I was just learning the sport. I was like very new to everything. But like I felt like it was somewhere I could like take to a high level. So like in the summer between my sophomore and junior year, I did a couple camps. I went to like Duke, Wake Forest and Boston College. I went to those 3 camps. And like initially I didn't get the offers that I wanted to, but like they still kept an eye out for me. So like that even like pushed me like even harder because I was like, I really want the offers from the schools. I want my first offer. So my junior year, I had a good year my junior year, and by like the end of the season, like schools started like calling and like asking about me, and like the offers started coming through. So like it's a long process, but like my school I felt put me in like a good like position to get like seen and like recruited. But like I also like went to the camps and stuff that were able to put me out, and like I have a highlight tape is on like Twitter and stuff, so like that's where like all the coaches are. So like again they just see my highlight tape and like they see they're interested, reach out to get my phone number, like we start like talking and stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of how the recruiting process goes. So like now once you have all the offers, is now having to pick the best school for you, and that was probably like the most stressful bit because like I'm like getting called by like 3 coaches every night, and I'm just trying to do my homework and like get stuff done. But like these coaches are like talking to me, like telling me about their school, asking how my day was.
It's that sweet talk,
Yeah, they talk about anything to get you to come to their school. So like yeah, the recruiting process was long, and I'm glad it was over. I committed to Duke fairly early. I committed to like the end of March. But like again, Duke was like the school I always wanted to go to. So yeah, the process is definitely a lot, And it's definitely very different to like maybe kids here trying to go straight from like sixth form to like a college in America. It's very different. It's a very different process.
What I want to say is that what criteria were you looking for that made Duke like your number one option? Because if it was me, I would have gone for Harvard. But I ain't an athlete like that, so.
Also another thing with the Ivy schools, they don't like give full scholarships. It's
that's another thing as well.
Like financial aid, like need based.
Yeah,
so like it probably would have been like a good amount for me and my family, but like I definitely
that like security.
I just want it all paid for. Like thinking about it, like the student like debt and like loans that the kids have to pay, like it's a lot. Like
paying 6 figures a year for school, that's crazy.
Yeah, like Duke is like $85K a year, so like it's serious money. So like again, like getting a full scholarship, that was one thing, and I felt like people like put Duke in like the kind of category of Ivy League schools. With like, so like you have the Ivy League and then like there's maybe like the Ivy League plus where you have like Stanford, MIT, Duke and like the University of Chicago. So like
that's top 7.
Yeah, so like it's still like in that level of like an Ivy League school, but again they get to play like
sports at a very high level instead of being like bubbled in the Ivy League.
Yeah, like the Ivy League teams only play the Ivy League teams, and it's like only a certain like audience that's gonna reach out to. But like Duke, that you're playing like on ESPN every weekend against like the best like kids in the country, the top schools, and so that was a big thing for me. And like I went to go visit the campus at Duke, and it was like the best. I just knew
that. What first sight?
Yeah, so it was something like that. I could just tell it was the place for me, and like that was a big thing for me. So like I was super happy when I went on my official visit with my family and they got to see it.
Because your family actually flew over.
Yeah, my family.
That's dope.
Yeah. So like they paid for it all, like your official visit. So they paid for the flight for your whole family. They spend like 3 days there on campus, and like you have loads of activities. You get to learn about the school.
UK unis, you need to get a little better.
Yeah, it's completely different in America. The amount of money they make from the sports it's multiple millions, billions. I mean, so like it's a lot. It's a huge industry. But I always knew like Duke was like for me, so that it just made the process way easier. And like the coaches there were super like loving, super like I could like tell that I was a priority for them and that they wanted me. So like it made it like a way better like decision, an easier decision for me.
Yeah, it's nice to be in a position where you feel wanted, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Cause like there's some schools like you can go to like the best school in the country, but like they could say they want you, but like they don't really want you.
They're not calling you. They're not prioritizing you. They're not paying for your family's flower.
I mean, with the official visits, it's like standard. Like it's gonna get paid for. But like, at like some of the top schools, you can just be like another person on the team. But I feel like at Duke, it's more like a family type of vibe. And like even meeting the players, I could tell that like it was like a tight knit group. So yeah.
So you didn't feel like an outsider at all with your semi-British accent?
I feel like no matter where I go, people are gonna ask about my accent. Like I start speaking and like people are like, whoa, like like whatever I'm talking about, they don't try. They just want to know more about my accent.
What?
Yeah, they say bottle of water, give your best American accent. Like, do you know the Queen? I've heard some of the craziest questions. Like again, the one I won't forget was my friends, and this girl was like, "Is Paris in London?" And when I took
like serious questions.
It was a serious. I'm like looking this girl dead in the eye. I'm like, are you serious? I was so laughed. I was like looking at my friends like, did anyone hear what she just said? Some of the craziest questions. It's just like people do not know anything outside the country of like the United States. So it's definitely a lot. People say my accent is slightly changing. It's not what I'm trying to do, but probably the most annoying bit is having to repeat myself because I say a sentence and like they look at me like I'm not speaking English. They're like, "Can you repeat that?" And I'm like, "Okay, I repeat again," and they still don't like understand what I'm saying. It's a lot initially, but like again, I'm used to the questions. I'm used to like people like being fascinated because there's not many British people in America. So like when they do see one, it's like, whoa, like they think it's like Top Boy now and like. And they think like they've met like a crazy Brit. So it's what it is.
Yeah, but touching on that, we are seeing like gradually more and more UK players getting into D1 sports. Like shout out Noah Hansen, who I think has University of Houston.
Yeah.
That boy is rapid, bro.
Yeah.
And you actually played basketball with him.
Yeah, I played with him at Neom Youngbloods for like a while. He's always been rapid. He's just so quick. So yeah, props to him because that's amazing going to University of Houston. That's serious track school. But yeah, there's definitely like more and more athletes again going to America and going to the States because again, getting your education paid for is a big thing, and being able to do it whilst playing the sport you love is like you couldn't ask for more.
Right.
So it's definitely like a path that like more kids are taking, and I feel like it's a great path for them because in America like sports is like a big thing over there, and like I feel like it should be a bigger thing here. It should be like an actual like path where you can use to like building a career for yourself and like being successful.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like that's why going to America for university or college, as you would say, is becoming a lot more appealing because it kind of forces you to become more well-rounded, you know. As you become a D1 athlete, you need to learn how to manage your image, you know, media presence, speak eloquently, as well as deliver on the court and conduct yourself in like a manner. It's not just like, I don't know, throwing a football X amount of yards. So I feel like that emphasis on being a better person in America rather than being a better academic in the UK is, I can see why it's more appealing.
Oh yeah, 100%. You have to carry yourself like a lot to a much higher regard because like again people like know you're an athlete, they know you're gonna play, like you're on the team. Like it's a big thing. So like again you have to carry yourself in a certain way. And like again you still have all those like disciplines and all those stuff you have to do in your day-to-day life. So it can be a lot. I mean, I probably haven't even scratched the surface. Like I'll probably understand it when once I get to Duke and like how like it actually is. But yeah, it's something you sign up for when you want to play like a college sport.
What are you looking forward to then? Being a D1 athlete?
Just playing. Especially like the crazy places like Florida State, Clemson, like the places where it gets super loud and like, cause it's like college sports is like,
it's a movie.
It's huge. Like college football is like the same level as like the NFL there, which is like it's probably like crazy for people to like think about. You kind of have to like go to a game to understand it, but like people like go crazy for these games. They like tailgate for like hours before the game, and there's like tens of thousands of people just like in the stadium just watching like 18 to like 20-year-olds.
We want Samson.
So it's like a crazy like it's crazy like the way that they like love college sports. So it's probably like playing, like and like being in like the stadiums and like competing. That's probably like the thing I'm most looking forward to. So yeah, I can't wait for the first day.
How are you feeling about all that extra attention though, being under like an even brighter spotlight?
Again, it's just what you sign up for. If you want to play at the highest, like I want to play at the highest level, something I wanted to do. So it's like you know what comes with it, and like you know that eventually you're playing in these high pressure situations, high pressure games, and like a lot's on the line. So like that's like the type of stuff I want to be in, and it's something like I've again really worked to like be in a situation where I'm there because like I feel like that's where I belong and where I want to be.
That makes sense then. So what advice would you have to like aspiring athletes or also trying to go D1 in a particular sport?
Passion is a big thing because like again there's gonna be days where you don't want to work out or that you don't want to like go to practice and stuff like that, but again you just have to remember why you're playing the sport and like the end goal for you, because like if you could see the end goal it helps a lot. So again just like being like disciplined and like being like just like humble and like being able to like know that the work you put in will pay off in the future. I feel like that's a huge thing. And like nothing's impossible, and just being open to like new ideas or like new opportunities, because again I feel like I could have taken like basketball to like maybe like an Ivy League level and I would have been super happy about that, but like yeah, I feel like football was like opening that door for myself was huge. So just being open to like new ideas and opportunities, you never know what could happen. But yeah, I would say that.
That's very fair. What I also want to touch on is that how did you find that passion? Like, I can see I like basketball, but
yeah,
I can't. I've got no jump at the minute. So I'm not playing. But like, how did you How do you foster that passion?
Again, just like the competitive drive and like you either have passion for something or you do. You can have passion for like anything, and like that's really what's gonna drive you to like do. You either have passion or you don't. You either like what you're doing, or like you just don't like what you're doing. So I think it's just as simple as that. It's like, do you like seriously like want to do what you're doing? But like for me, I seriously want to like turn up, put the pads on, and play football. Like yeah, that's what I want to do, and that's what I find fun. So like, I'm gonna do what I need to do.
What's it like then having like a sport as like the epicenter of your life? Like you move the whole country for the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like crazy because it does become very like sport orientated, your life and like everything has to like work around your sports. But I feel like my school does a good job because there's loads of athletes so like at my school that are gonna play like Division 1 sports. So it's like
That's tough.
so like we're all in the same boat kind of. So like again, we still have time to have like a social life and like have fun and stuff and hang out. So like it's like sports is like a big thing, but we also know how to like relax and like get away from the sports and like be able to chill and stuff like that. Because that's a big thing. You have to like balance it as well. You can't just like play football 24/7. Like you have to have like off like time to like relax and like chill just for like your mental health and stuff like that. So you do learn to like balance stuff like that. I think that's a key thing like at any level of playing the sport.
So how do you then relax then?
So like again, like that's why I really like the school I'm at because on the weekends I can like just hang out with my friends. We can like just like chill, maybe watch one of like the college games and stuff like that. And again, because we're all sports and like-minded people, it's not like my friends are like kids are like gonna go on like crazy benders, drink loads of alcohol, like do like wild stuff. So like the fact that we're like most of my friends are like athletes and like have the same type of goals as me, I feel like that helps a lot because like we're all in like the same boat. So like we all want to chill. So like we're not doing anything too crazy. So like again, like picking out the right friends has also been a really key thing for me. And I feel like that's also been a big part in like what's gotten me where I am today.
I think that's a good part. But how did you then keep that level of focus when you're at Southend, for example? Because you weren't friends with no national level hooper back then, right? So.
And see now in that sense, it's like all my friends like they want to go to the best sixth form, they want to go to Brampton and like stuff like that. So again, like the friend groups I have is like really good friend groups. Like the friend group I have here in London, all super smart kids, all like planning to go into like really good universities right now. All of my friends in America, they're like all athletes and like kids that want to play their sport at the next level. So like I feel like the type of friends I've made is like key to like who I am today because the people like you surround yourself is like the person you're gonna become because so I feel like it's really key that you surround yourself with good people and people that are gonna push you to like do better and like whatever you're doing.
I agree as well, but how do you then manage to like be friends with people that want to be friends with Samson? Not be friends with you because you got like D1 clout, money. I mean, maybe not yet, but when you start signing them deals.
Yeah. Again, you just have to, keep like your close friends close because you know those are the people that you can count on at the end of the day because like again like I have like many friends, I have many like people I talk to, many people that like I can talk to, but not all of them are like my close friends. So like it's like the type of like business or like the type of like career I'm going down. It's kind of like I'm gonna meet many people, so like you have to be like an impressionable person and like a good human being. So like it's gonna happen. You're gonna make new friends and stuff like that. But I like to keep my like circle close of people that like I can count on and that like I really like.
That's really great to hear, man. Would you say that there's anyone that's been like a sort of mentor towards you throughout like this college process?
Probably my definitely my head coach and like my dad as well. Spend like hours talking to them about this stuff, and even my friend like my teammate Tommy, he's also going to Duke. So like people like that are in the same like position as me, like my teammate Tommy, like we talk about it all the time. But even like my head coach, he was super cool to talk to, and like there's like certain head coaches that will push you to go to like a certain school and like they're always like whispering in the back of like they're always talking like they're always like a voice in the back of your head telling you like what to do and where to go. Like my coach wasn't like that, so he was like super chill, super cool, and like he helped me throughout the whole process even when it got like a bit crazy and it's like I'm getting like a new offer every week and it's like there's like multiple people calling me. Like he definitely like helped make the right decision for me. So I definitely say that. And then my dad as well, always kept me grounded, and which was always a great person to talk to for sure.
Yeah, because there were so many moments where like you could have like been too gassed and then not fulfilled and like getting offers from all these places. So like
Yeah.
having those people to like just remember like who you are is so
Yeah,
important. in this.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, you have to stay grounded. Having people that can keep you grounded is again, those are people you need to keep close and like make sure like you have in your friend group.
Yeah, like I think like there's certain times like I think one time I was getting my haircut in year 12 and my barber like mentioned that he saw my TikToks.
Yeah.
So I was like,
that's crazy.
gassed. I was gassed.
That's actually
So when I
crazy.
come back home, I go back home, yeah, and I tell my mom this and she's like, so you got 10,000 followers. Is that all you want? And it just stuck to me to be like,
Yeah.
you know, it's facts. And I feel like when you got those people in your life that like keep you humble, that have that love for you, that's what keeps you like hungry to always achieve more.
Yeah, and it's kind of just never being satisfied. That's just a big thing. Like you always want to do more, and like you're never just like satisfied with where you are. That type of stuff. Yeah,
What else do you want to experience at Duke though that's not football related, bro?
definitely like use the academics to my advantage. Like it is a top 10 school in the country, so like I'm gonna be around like some of the smartest people like there is. So like again, just building like relationships with those type of people is also a big thing because like again, no, it's a very difficult school to get into. It's like a 5% like acceptance rate. So it's like I'm gonna be around some really bright people. So being able to like talk to them and like just like learn from them, I feel like that's a big thing. And then probably like trying to like get a few internships and stuff like that, and like being able to have a career outside of football, definitely stuff like that.
Speaking of marketing yourself, Jared McCain went to Duke, right?
Yeah.
So there's this interesting class at Duke called the TikTok content creation class. Would you be interested in taking that?
We'll have to see when I get there, because when I first saw it on social media, I was like, that's a class I do. I was like, I was so baffed. I was like, I guess that's a class. So it's something I'll definitely like see when I get down there. I'm like always gonna keep my options open, but like I definitely feel like I want to like major in like econ, something like that, like then minor in like whatever. So yeah, I'll see when I get down there, because a lot of kids on the team do study like econ and like they can go into business and like get internships at like some of the best like firms and stuff. So I definitely want to explore that route.
How would you say you like kind of like when you look in the mirror, what kind of person do you see? Like, do you still identify as like a British person?
Oh,
or
100%.
American like it must be kind of confusing though, isn't it?
Nah, I know who I am. Like I know I was raised in Dagenham. I grew up here.
How it ends, boy.
I grew up here and like that's the person I am. So like I know who I am, even though like it feels like I'm just very different to everyone else over there because I'm just British. I just know who I am, and I say that's it.
I feel like that's very important. What are your socials and where can we find you, Samson?
I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. My Instagram handle is Sampson _Onuoha. TikTok Samson _Onuoha. Yeah, that's where you can find me. Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
Thank you for being on this, bro.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
it's awesome.